It's a book that follows the journey of one woman's loss and how she channeled her grief into hope. Kris Emmert and Julie Voudrie are both here to tell us more about their inspiring book, Providing Promise. Ladies, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. And so, Julie, we know you as Chef
That's
Julie,
right.
but you have actually been working on this book several months. You've been here, you've been updating on this. And so tell me a little bit about just this book and the partnership between you two.
Well, this book kind of started a year ago, really, where Kris came and told me her story and how she wanted to put it in writing. And I think today's the perfect day because we talk about freedom today. And as Americans, we enjoy the freedom, the sacrifices that people paid for our freedom. And her husband obviously paid a high price for our freedom. But there's freedom we all need, from fear, from pain, from loss, just from discouragement, all of those things. And that's really what Kris brings out in her book. That's why I was so excited to do the project with her.
Right. And so, Kris, tell me a little bit about Providing Promise and the overarching story.
Right. It actually started 25 years ago. It's been a long journey, but my husband, Commander John Rystrom, was lost at sea when his E-2C aircraft crashed into the Ionian Sea. He was on board the Theodore Roosevelt. And at the time, at the mishap, they never found the cause of the crash. They never found the plane, and they never found my husband's body. So he was lost at sea, as was the rest of the crew. So that happened 25 years ago. So for the 25th anniversary, it was actually my oldest daughter, Jordan. She's an attorney in Houston, and she said, "Mom, for the 25th anniversary, would you please write a book?" And so it was just amazing how I met Julie. She's a writer, I'm a speaker.
Right.
And so we collaborated on this project, not really realizing how precious this project was going to really turn into for the two of us.
Right.
And so we started the journey, and Julie started doing all the military research, and we've had several retired officers, naval officers, vetted the chapters
to make sure that it was true.
To make sure it's true.
Very accurate.
It's a historical nonfiction inspirational book.
Right. And so you mentioned Julie's research, and Julie, you really dove into this, right?
I really did. I mean, we were able to visit aircraft carriers. I spent a lot of time researching John's service records, again, extensive interviews with people he served with or people who had his positions, and so we worked really hard to make sure those scenes are accurate. They're exciting. Those parts read more like a novel, really. So this is a very unique book. There's really nothing else like it out there.
Right. And so, Kris, I want to ask you, your daughter, you know, she kind of mentioned, you should do this, Mom. Like, why don't you do this? And so when readers come and pick up the book, what do you hope that they get out of it?
I hope that they get a dose of hope, because loss is loss. And regardless of what that loss looks like, I lost a husband and he was lost at sea, but maybe the reader has lost a marriage or lost a dream or lost hope. And I want them to look at this as, if she can do it, so can I. And I just want the reader to know you're going to make it. It's going to be hard. I do talk about my grief in this book. It gets very raw.
Very raw.
Gets very real.
A lot of tears were shed.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
But there's sunshine and there's light and there's joy once you get through the journey. And I just want to give that reader that dose of hope to know you can do this.
Right. Well, and I think that's what makes something so inspiring is the vulnerability that you are able to share with the readers.
She was very, very vulnerable. I was very pleased as a writer that she was so willing to open up her heart and let us all come inside and experience her.
And it's also a love story.
Yes.
And so in the book, and Julie really prompted me to do this, she said, you know, you're going to have to get the love letters out, because my husband and I wrote letters to each other every single day when he was deployed. We were married for 7 years. So I have hundreds and hundreds of letters that he and I wrote to each other. And so in this process of writing this book, we had to get the letters out. And so there's excerpts from these love letters because we wanted the reader to understand the love that my husband and I had for each other. So then when he does die, the reader grieves with me.
Right. And I think, you know, what's so great too is people are able to see the process that both of you guys kind of went through and able to publish this book. And it was just released last week on Wednesday. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you guys will actually be doing a book signing this Monday. And people can also reach out to you for those inspiring messages as well. Right, Kris?
Right. I'm available for speaking events, and you can get the book on Amazon, but you can also get the book book on our website, which is providingpromise.com, and there's a place there. But I would love for you to come out to the local signing events, and Julie and I can sign the book for you, and that way we can actually meet you and maybe give you a hug.
And talk to you and tell the story in person. And so make sure you stop by the book signing event. It's happening this Monday at Buttermilk Sky Pie Shop from 3 to 7. Ladies, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your story. And coming up after the break, we are getting into the 4th of July spirit with Texas Roadhouse. We'll be right back.